What we're trying to do is give you a little bit more bang for your buck, and when it's a little cool outside, maybe raining like it was a couple of nights ago, we want to have a great spot for you to enjoy some country music and some of our legends in pro rodeo. One thing I can guarantee you, in our industry, we're proud of who we have. We're proud of our cowboys. There's another thing I can guarantee you. In the rodeo business, nobody really gets rich or famous, but we do have a big family. We do have a lot of love. We do have a lot of friends in our business, and that comes with a lot of respect for our champions. For the men and women that dedicate their lives to become champions and to pursue the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo or the Canadian Finals Rodeo or pursuing being the best of the best. We have one of those young men here with us tonight. As a matter of fact, he has qualified for the Canadian Finals Rodeo 19 times. He's been here in Las Vegas 20 times. 20 times he's qualified in the saddle bronc riding as a competitor. And I don't know about you, but I think that makes him a legend. That hasn't been done very much. And a record holder as well, an 8-time Canadian champion saddle bronc rider from Wildwood, Alberta. Say hello to Rod Hay, if you would, please. What an honor to be on the same stage with you, my friend. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Oh, it's good to be on the stage with you, Wayne. Nobody does it better.
Let's talk about being excited to be in Las Vegas. Your first time, it had to be just butterflies that big, and I had a seasoned veteran bareback rider tell me yesterday, I don't care how many times you be here, or you've been here, that first performance, you're nervous.
Yeah, when I came in here in 1989, it was almost more than you could just, holy cow, lights, everything. But realistically, when you get in the chutes, it's the same thing you've been doing all year, and that's almost the easiest part of it is, man, now it's time to ride. You get focused, do what you've done all year, and you know, it's the same guys you've been riding against, just, you know, better horses and more money. So I would agree that the first perf here is from 1989 till you know, 20 years later, you're ready. But they keep adding more money here too, and that just makes it that much better, right?
18,000 a night, and how much for the average? 45,000 or 46,000, something like that.
Yeah, when it gets that much, you just go, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's right. I'm sure you can all see this guy. He doesn't look like he's but maybe 30 or 35 years old, yet he's been here for 20 years. Something in the genes, I guess, something in the blood. But you've got a wonderful family. Tell them about your family before we go any farther.
Oh, yeah, my wife and got 3 boys, and which is pretty neat. I really thought when I got hurt last year that, man, it's going to be boring. You go to 200 days of rodeoing every year, right? And so I was sitting, not going to be able to be on the road. I thought, man, I'm going to get a little bored. And man, chasing a couple hundred cows and 3 kids, and there's no time to be bored. I don't know how they did it when I was gone.
Those wives are definitely underappreciated, aren't they?
It's not. Being a rodeo cowboy's wife is an underrated job, I think.
That's a fact. For those of you that just walked in, this is an 8-time Canadian champion bronc rider, Rod Hay. He's been here 20 times. He is our legendary cowboy tonight, and he's also, you can quote me on this, he's also, I think, the Trevor Brazil of the bronc riding business, the Trevor Brazil of the rough stock end of things, because without an injury that he had about a year ago, I think he would have been here 21 times last year, 22 this year, and Lord knows how many more, because he is so talented and is still in great shape, great physical condition. Even though this is one of the most physically demanding sports and events that you can be involved in, this guy's just miraculously stayed in great shape until June of 2010. Tell him the words you used on the National Finals Tonight show at the Gold Coast the other night. Tell him what happened to your leg.
Well, it was one of the deals. Full bore rodeo, and we were in Reno the night before. We actually drove from Reno to Innisfail from a night to an afternoon up there, and we just got there in time to get on. But I had probably one of the best horses in the entire world. He's quite possibly, it would have a chance to be a bucking horse of the world, this horse, Gross Beetle. I was pumped, I was excited, and I knew I had a chance to win first. This horse will buck you off, bucks a lot of guys off, and I also needed to be 88 points. It was 87 was winning the rodeo, so you kind of got to let her hang too, right? So we're coming around the corner, and she's wide open, and I'm wide open, and whistle went, and at the same time I went, and I was 88 points and twisted my leg off. I thought I tore some ligaments. It just twisted in my stirrup and shot me out there, and just kind of squished, and I thought, oh, there goes some ligaments. It's not, this isn't going to be good.
Oops.
And I hope I can get back for Calgary in 2 weeks, you know.
Hope it feels better in a couple weeks.
So I went to the sports medicine clinic in Calgary at the University of Calgary the next morning. And they're pinning around and he goes, this doesn't feel very good. So they took a picture of it and said, well, that's really bad. It basically exploded. From here up, it just twisted and boom, it was in about 35 pieces.
Spiral fracture from his knee to his hip, broken 35 places. It's a miracle that he's able to walk, let alone ride again, but he's back and he's 110%. A little round of applause would be great for that if you don't mind. We have so much to cover tonight. You got to stand up and turn around and show them your jacket, will you? So much to cover tonight, and I want to move on very quickly because this is the brand new, there's only a few of them out there, 100th anniversary of the Calgary Stampede. The reason I want to bring that up is because the Calgary Stampede is known as, and I wrote it right here, training ground. It's a training ground for the kids. And to make it a good training ground for steer riders, which he's won. He won that as a youngster. He won the Calgary Stampede 3 more times. To make it a training ground requires good stock. Justin, let's take a look at a great horse called Grated Coconut. This is the foundation. It's picture number 1, if I remember right. The foundation of the Calgary Stampede breeding program. It's the 50th anniversary of the ranch. This horse is a 6-time world champion all over the world, not just in Canada. Bucking horse called Grated Coconut. He's an amazing horse, and they are using him to bring the next and the next and the next generation. Here in Las Vegas, the Wrangler NFR, you're going to meet 5 of his babies over 10 nights. In 1 of the bareback riding and 4 in the bronc riding. Here's our monitor right there. Here's a great shot of Grated Coconut. How great is this horse?
Well, that's a shot of me and on liqueur whiskey at Calgary, and that's a great horse on its own right there. I think that's about 2007. Might have been one of the years that I won it. That's what's really cool with Calgary. I kind of grew up there. I won the boys steer riding in 1983 there. You walk into a place like that, and it's the big deal, and wow, it's crazy, and it really makes you, when you do good at there, just to be at a rodeo like that makes you want to go back, right? And I've had great luck there, years going on with being able to win, and the thing with Calgary is probably they're cutting edge and they're not afraid to take chances, and they jump out there and they want to put the best product in front of the fans. And when you put that much money, everybody is going to try that much harder, and it really makes it exciting. And I've had some just fantastic days in Calgary but with the breeding program, they kind of broke ground there with, and I can't believe it's 50 years because I BS with Winston Bruce over a lot. It's kind of I have a hobby, which is raising bucking horses, and it has to be a hobby because I don't make a lot of money on it, so I have to call it a hobby. But it's a really neat thing to watch how you look at the bloodlines, you look at the genetics, and you look what goes on. And to see a horse like Grated Coconut, like he's a poster child for bucking horses. The horse, you can walk up to him, you can pet him, you can put a little kid on his back and lead him around.
I've seen him do it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And when it's time to go, he is, like I say, 6-time world champ, and the hair stands up on the back of your neck when he bucks. He's unbelievable, and to watch him go. I was lucky enough because lots of times they would ask me to turn him out because he would actually try to get out of the gate, be open this far, and he'd try to get out.
Yeah.
You kind of had to have him looking back over here when they opened the gate so he didn't beat the gate out and sometimes get in trouble. He actually tried to jump out before the gate got open. So
he's wanting to go to work.
There.
Here he is. Here he is right here. He's coming up right here. A record 6-time world champion bareback horse, and no telling, probably more than a dozen titles when you talk about the bucking horse of the Calgary Stampede, Ponoka, the Canadian Finals Rodeo, of Canada. You know, it's one of the most celebrated horses of all time. That's the bloodlines of some of the greatest horses you'll see in this building right here in 10 days.
He's that ride right there was Davy Shields. He was 95 points on that horse. Probably one of the greatest bareback rides I've ever seen in my life. The guy, you can see his feet are freakish, turned straight out, but that was an unbelievable ride. That horse is such an athlete. Just to be around him and watch him move around and stuff, and you have more of an appreciation for that as a guy that's been around animals your whole life, and then you watch how he acts and how he moves and stuff, and really he's as big a star as Ty Murray and Trevor Brazil in my mind.
Right.
and then he's so lucky because he brings him, he's got babies coming out left and right, and I think we got 4, we got them written down here.
Justin, roll on to that third picture if you don't mind. We'll give you a shot of one of the babies. Picture
four
number
bareback
4.
horses, Nightmare Rocket, Princess Warrior, Risky Elsie, Rapper Margie, are all out of Grated Coconut, and Matter of Fact, which they won 100,000 at Calgary last year, Wade Sundell did. And
Read them one more time, will you? Because I want you guys to keep these names in mind and keep an eye out for these horses, because if there's one to win a round on, it should be one of these.
And actually the horse that I broke my leg on at Innisfail, Gross Beetle, is a half-sister.
Yeah.
It's out of the same stud, Wyatt Earp, which is a world champion, and Gallant Warrior, the only horse to buck Taos Muncie off at Edmonton.
Right.
So the bloodlines are incredible, and it's amazing the athletic stuff that these horses have. And their demeanor is fantastic. And I get a little ticked off at times when, you know, you find people who don't know a whole lot about rodeo and they say what they're saying about how they are. These animals love what they're doing and they're really good at it. And I've got a broken leg to prove how good they are.
Yeah, how
right?
good they are. Tell us about this horse right here.
That's Matter of Fact, and really just jumps and kicks and gets in the air. And with the right reiner, as she's coming around, she'll hit in a lead and she'll buck guys off. And she looks really fun to ride, but she'll buck guys off. And actually that day, Wade Sundell, he was being a right reiner, he was a little worried about getting tipped over there. He was almost contemplating using his other hand for $100,000. I don't know who does that, but, but he did that was a great ride, and man, it was fun to watch.
I'll tell you what, I've had the honor and the pleasure to be in Calgary for the last 10 years and be one of the announcers there. And if you've never been, come on, it's amazing. Website is Calgary Stampede, and it is calgarystampede.com/mystampede. You can share photos and stories with a lot of the fans. But folks, if you've never been, it's absolutely amazing. The chuck wagons, the night show, they'll shoot off $150,000 worth of fireworks every night for 10 nights in a row. And guess what? The 100th anniversary is going to be twice as big as they've ever had it before. Calgary, what a powerhouse at bringing young kids into the business and putting on one of the greatest outdoor shows on earth.
You know, they've always done it right. They've always been first class, and like I say, kind of cutting edge. And they'll try. They're not afraid to try stuff and do stuff, and then it kind of will filter down throughout the rest of the people. See, man, it works great there, so we're gonna do that too, right? And I think the most unique thing with Calgary is they really try from a production level to give you exactly what you want to see in an exciting format. And that's the same as this rodeo here.
And they've changed it over the last half a dozen years.
That's how they stayed for 100 years. That's how it's 100 years. They keep moving on. You can't just keep plugging the same old thing, and they realize that, and they keep doing that. But that's how you do it. You take chances and get the feedback and keep moving forward, right?
A couple of new things that they're bringing this year is a brand new huge roller coaster called Outlaw, named after one of the champion bulls.
Yeah, I think he was a world champion bull. I think he rode twice.
Yep.
Once for 100,000 at Calgary, and I think maybe one other time. Maybe that was the only time.
Might have been. And North America's longest and fastest zip line. It's going to go all the way across the Calgary Stampede grounds, 60 miles an hour.
Wayne's going first.
I ain't going. Not a chance. Talk about memories at Calgary. You grew up there. You've been there all your life, and when you talk about the most memorable moments and things, for me it was the first time I stepped on the stage. It's this huge grandstands with 20,000 people, and there's this huge stage where they have the night show, and when you step out there, you're all alone. I mean, if your knees aren't knocking, you're high. Something's wrong with you. You're drunk or something, because it's just amazing, an amazing feeling.
When you're in a situation like Calgary, with the amount of money that's up in Calgary and the animals and the competition, it makes you focus really on, you got to be at your best. When I come into Calgary, I'm generally try to be there an hour and a half before the rodeo starts, and I'll walk in, and this is where I really vivid memories of get up and I'll stretch on the chutes. I'll actually find out where my horse is probably going to buck and go to that chute. And it's empty and it's quiet, and you can sit there and you can relax and you kind of see, and then you go, wow, in an hour and a half, this thing is going to be going crazy, blowing
Full.
up, and it's going to be fantastic. And it's the calm before the storm, and that's a really cool thing. I always like to do that there, and it kind of gets you in the right frame of mind, kind of figure out what you're going to get doing, how you're going to do it. But when it starts going and you make the 10 and then you make the final 4, and somebody comes walking in and they go, and this is the one that I really remember, they come walking in and I'm thinking, you know what, there's 4 horses in here and they're all fantastic, no doubt, but I want Kingsway. That's the one I want. I got a 1 in 4 chance, and I'm sitting there and man, they come in, they go, you got Kingsway. I go, you're kidding, really? Yeah. And I go, man, that's the one I wanted, and I just think I drew over my head. I don't know if I can ride this, I wanted.
Your wish came true. Now what? Yeah.
And then man, from there it just happens that quick, and you're in there and you're on, and like you say, there's 27,000 people there, and they're just cheering like crazy, and you got the best horse in the entire world, and you're going to go try to win. At that time it was $50,000, and
now it's 100.
You do stuff that you didn't even think was possible, and that's one of my greatest memories. That was the first time I won Calgary.
Thank you for being with us tonight.
It's been a pleasure, no problem. I have the big Kahuni from Calgary, Dave Sybil. He's on his way up here, and he's got just because I know you're envious of, there's 6 of these jackets, by the way, and their roots, they're cutting edge deals, and we're going to present Wayne with one of them, and this is Dave Sybil.
Thanks, Wayne. It's certainly going to be an honor to have you up there, part of our centennial celebration. We've got the world best stock, we've got the world best cowboys, we've got the world best announcers, and we look forward to having you here this next year. And anyone that wants to come, please come on out.
Thank you very much. Dave Sybil, he is the big kahuna at the Calgary Stampede. Rod, thank you very much for doing what you do.
No problem, it's a pleasure, Wayne.
Enjoyed it. Folks, how about one more big round of applause? An 8-time Canadian champion bronc rider, Rod Hay, with us here tonight. Wow, what a thrill. Welcome to all of you that are just showing up here tonight. We're trying to bring you more bang for your buck. Every time you buy a